announced that John Cena was going to embark on this one-year retirement tour, I'm sure there's a couple of things that people wanted to see get accomplished on their wish list. One last match with Randy Orton, one last match with CM Punk, potentially one final match with AJ Styles. But one thing that I don't think a lot of people had on their wish list was seeing John Cena team up with Logan Paul. Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Kevin Zwicker from Fast Cow coming at you. And before I get into this video, please remember to the like button and subscribe. Hit the like button and subscribe. Hit the like button and subscribe. So after we saw Cody Rhodes make his return at Saturday night's main event, it was announced that we were going to get this tag team match at Money in the Bank between John Cena and Logan Paul versus Jey Uso and Cody Rhodes. It was announced tonight in the main event segment that that match is actually going to main event Money in the Bank and not one of the actual ladder matches, which we probably should have expected due to the star power involved. So we see Cody Rhodes come out. This is the last segment of the show where this is his first promo back since WrestleMania. This is our second appearance seeing him since that match took place, right? And Cody Rhodes is coming out and he starts reflecting not only on his title reign, but what he's been dealing with since losing the title to John Cena at WrestleMania. They are in Knoxville, Tennessee, and he discusses that, after he lost at WrestleMania, that, he was sipping on a little bit of that drink, sipping on a little bit of that Tennessee drink, if you know what I mean. And he talks about how he's reflected with one of his very close friends. And from the vibe that I was getting, I think he was talking about DDP. That could just be assuming, but he was asking, was I a good champion? And he starts reflecting on all the things that went down during his title reign, what went down with him and Kevin Owens, what went down with him and The Rock, starts reflecting on that selling of the soul. And then he brings up the match at WrestleMania where he hesitated against John Cena and he ended up losing the title. And he makes a promise saying, John, next time I'm in that position, I am not going to hesitate. And then he goes on and talks about, I want to do something special. This is my first time back on Smackdown since WrestleMania. I wanted to do something for you guys. I wanted a surprise. The crowd sniffed it out. They were shouting yeet. And that's, of course, what we got. We got Jey Uso appearing on SmackDown. And I'm going to steal this line from Ibu. If you guys know Ibu, he's a content creator. He works for Wrestle Purist. He's worked with Sean Ross Sapp in the past as well. He's an independent freelancer at the moment. But he called Jey Uso Disney's Sandman. And I think that's the perfect way to describe Jey. He is the PG sanitized version of the Sandman, just due to the rabid crowd reaction he gets from the kids. He's up there kissing babies, which is nice to see. We get a commercial break. We get a return. He does the yeet thing again. And before he could really get into talking, we get interrupted by the champ, John Cena. John Cena goes out there and scolds those two guys like they're his stepkids and calls them John Cena wannabes. He calls Cody Rhodes a John Cena carbon copy, basically. And then he calls Jey Uso. He says, you'll never be John Cena, basically, because you're lazy. He says, I'm going to bring out a guy who embodies hustle, loyalty, respect. And he brings out his tag team partner, Logan Paul. And he starts putting over Logan Paul, which look, Logan Paul's a very controversial guy, right? Whether you're somebody who watches wrestling or somebody who doesn't watch wrestling, Logan Paul is a guy who's easily very hated. And to say and to see, this guy, John Cena, is a legend, put over Logan Paul was not something that I was expecting to see. It wasn't something that I was thinking was going to go down during his retirement tour. Wasn't really the nicest thing to see, just do off of certain things that Logan Paul has been involved in. But he says, Logan Paul does WWE better than certain pro wrestlers. He says Logan Paul doesn't need to pay dues due to the fact that he's paying people's mortgages. And Logan Paul has been kind of in a little bit of a, what would you call it? A little bit of a spat, little spat, this week. He talked about how, there's a lot of people in the back who don't want him around. And Karrion Kross, dropped a video talking about that situation, giving his 2 cents and basically relaying the message that, it could have been anybody. It's not a personal thing, and this is something that has been talked about in the past. You've seen examples like Zack Ryder, a.k.a. Matt Cardona right now, where you had guys who built their brand outside of the WWE bubble and not using the WWE machine. They were scolded for it. And you got a guy who's been given this opportunity to be in these high-profile matches based off of that, right? So it's like an unfair advantage. And I could really, when Karen was talking about it, you could understand why there's certain people in the locker room who would be, very much not pleased with the fact that Logan Paul is around or in the position that he's in, because he was given an opportunity based off of something that most wrestlers were told was a no-go, right? In this segment, we saw at the end where John Cena was telling Logan Paul, after Jey Uso and Cody Rhodes, like, let's get it on, let's fight. John Cena was like, nah, we don't got to do this. Logan Paul was kind of like, yo, let's get this thing going. Cena was like, no. You see him kind of, a little bit of a hand gesture right there with Logan Paul touching John Cena's shoulder. You see some tension brewing, and then you see Cody Rhodes say, what's the matter? Are you going to go back there and shine up as Peacemaker? Shout out James Gunn and them boys. And then we see a brawl where you see the good guys get the better of the heels, right? I think what we're going to see at Money in the Bank is we are going to see the heels win. We are going to see Jey Uso, unfortunately, take the pin because I think they're going to want to protect Cody Rhodes as much as they possibly can, or just going to get a finish where Johnson kicks somebody in the balls again, which it's so jarring to see this guy who is, portrayed as the Superman character start winning these matches with, pokes to the eyes or kicks to the nuts or all these underhanded tricks. Very reminiscent of Steve Austin's heel turn where he was this chicken shit heel after being a badass for so long. But hey, I guess this goes with the territory. Hopefully this heel turn doesn't last any much longer. I hope we're like in the 8th to 9th inning of this because I don't think that it's working. Many people don't think it's working. I don't think anybody asked for this. I think that in the initial idea when it was pitched, this was something that I was personally excited for. I know a lot of other people were excited for, but I feel like they have just kind of botched it. And The Rock not being involved really hurt this storyline as well because there's a lot of like loopholes and plot holes into this to where it's just like, what are we even doing at this point? But let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Are you excited for Money in the Bank? Are you excited for this tag team match? What do you think of Logan Paul personally? Who do you think is going to win? Guys, I will be going live following Money in the Bank for a post show so we can kick it and talk about the show and what went down, guys. Remember to like the video and subscribe, like the video and subscribe, like the video and subscribe. I am Kevin Zwicker.